We got hards on. We're going to the end.
Okay, time to piss some people. Well, let's not say that's not. I've already said it now. Time to upset some people with my opinions, which is honestly nothing new for this podcast. I think I unfortunately am one of those people who don't necessarily always have the general consensus opinion for stuff, right? And that therefore I've grappled with, contrarian, just trying to be different. Which, by the way, anyone who lives this same hellscape as me knows that's not the case. I want to be on your side. I want to think the same thing. And luckily, most of my hot take opinions aren't too political. It's stuff like, I like rain. Or like, actually, that film's not that great. Watermelon underrated, question mark? It's nothing that's going to get me locked up, fortunately, right? These hot takes. But, yeah, I'd rather live in a world where I could go watch, like, the latest Marvel movie and agree with it either being good or shit. You know what I mean? Because it's easy. It's honestly an easier existence that way. But I've seen a lot of takes, right, about some of these car designs and what they would have wanted, and I'm sorry, but I've come to the consensus that Formula One fans, you're basic. You're basic, man. Like, come on, there is no fun to be had. It's all paint by numbers. Like, you guys would fucking, you'd blow a load to see like a camo livery. And I'm just like, that camo was cool like 10 years ago. And I'm talking in terms of like football kits, because that's the other sport I like watching. It's just like, a similar thing happens in football sometimes. It's like the easiest thing to do is as like a brand, a team and a football club or whatever. If you want to make a kit that sells really well, just do a blackout kit. Same with a livery. Just do a blackout livery. Like if you did a camo livery, people would go crazy for it. Every season, a team will do it. They'll do a kit where it's just black on black. The badge is blacked out and the kit's blacked out. And then you see the pages post and be like, oh my god, I think Genoa have just made the nicest kit we've seen in the last decade. And it's just a blacked out kit. And it's like, sure, it's doing the job. It looks kind of cool. But it's like, to me, that is not what a cool livery makes. Filling in the blanks. It was like so much of the times, making a good livery is just being paint by numbers or doing something that was done in the past. Let me tell you something right now, because I've ranked these liveries, right? Because this is from F1, the F1 live event, which is not the kind of thing I'd ever be interested in, like, going to, but I think was a good idea and overall was a success, right? That's what I'll say about that. But I didn't watch it live. I just kind of watched it on silent just to see the liveries, and I thought it was cool. I liked it all. I liked Jack White, who was a presenter, and just in general. And, yeah. Yeah, but I ain't gonna sit here and know all like the fashion faux pas from the event and the little inside jokes and little nuanced looks that drivers had and break all that kind of stuff down. I'm not gonna do that. I kind of save that my over analyzing for Drive to Survive. That's where I really come into my own. But in terms of liveries, just so you can understand my rankings, it's like, is it boring? Comes into it for a big part? This one's just crazy, like, obviously it's just a me thing, but do I like the colours? Like, sometimes you might just have what is a nice car, but I just don't like the colours, mate. Sorry. What can I do? And then thirdly, that might be it. Are you doing the same thing, I guess? Which I guess could also fit into being boring, but if you're doing if it's the same livery from the past 3 years, spoiler alert, but you're only gonna get so high in my world. Okay, let's just start off in the bottom. Let's not waste any more time. I don't know if I mentioned this, but the second time I'm doing it. The first time I was a little bit too aggressive, I'll be honest. I came out, I was firing shots at people. I was calling people I was calling people out. I was I was a little bit triggered, some would say. Like, I've seen a couple of opinions online and yeah, being triggered that's not an understatement for what's going on. But yeah, like, look, my opinions, I think I mentioned this already, but yeah, you wouldn't last. People think it's easy, okay, to kind of have opinions that aren't always popular, right? But you wouldn't last, and our Queen Taylor said it best, you wouldn't last 10 seconds in the asylum that raised me, okay? It's not easy, okay? Trust me, having hot takes, but I get by, okay? So number dead last, we got Williams. What I'm going to say about Williams is here it is, right? I don't know if it's the exact same as last year. The point is I feel like I should look at it and I should know. I don't want to have to go and check whatever it was last year. I don't know what it was last year, but looking at it, it easily could have been this, and that's good enough for me. So I'm just putting it in the category of same design, even though I don't think it is. Second of all, it is boring. And I'm sorry, I get it. Some cars can be plain and they look good plain. A navy blue car, I mean, navy blue as a colour, and I support Chelsea, that's a blue team, but it's more of a royal blue, that's a big difference, right? And also football kits are different. Sometimes I see a navy blue kit and I go, that's quite snazzy. But also, um, yeah, it's honestly, it's not that different. I'm just being a massive hypocrite. Anyway, in a car at least, what I found of Williams navy blue, has got to be one of the most straight laced colors ever. Like something about seeing navy blue, and I think it's maybe just to do with this country, but navy blue to me it makes me think of Ravenclaw. You know, the Harry Potter house. Well, like technically the Hogwarts house, if you want. Yeah, but you know, it makes Ravenclaw. You know, it makes me think of Tories. No, but it makes me think of what else did it make me think of? I had something else in my mind and I've lost it. Like school uniforms. You know, it's usually like most school uniforms you either wear black to school, like a little black business suit, you know, or you wear like navy blue. It makes me think of that. You know, I look at this Williams car and I just imagine like a briefcase just hanging off one of the chassis. Like it feels like they would go together. And with James Vowles as like your man in the, you know, at the front, it kind of just makes me go, oh, God, it's ugly. And it's just kind of nothing. It's like, it's a little geometric, I think. It's just like navy blue. And I just look at that Williams, and I do think this for a lot of liveries. I just feel like they are dying, that they're screaming out for some white. I know. But on cars anyway, white is a bit of a, minority. I just feel like you don't see it enough. It's just boring, man. I'm sorry. What did I write here? Oh yeah, their Duracell battery thing. Like their Duracell thing is what they're sticking with every single year is like their thing, and it is a good integration. But like they treat it like this is our Duracell battery. Like they treat it like it's their like Red Bull thing. Like we found a design that really works, we're just gonna stick with it forever. And like the Duracell battery era, especially because it's an era of where it's where they're being shit all the time. It's like looking back at that era is firstly not going to have a great legacy, and second of all, I don't know. It's just this brown like battery at the top of the thing, and it just doesn't look quick, does it? Like seeing a big Red Bull like at the top of like your car, like charging you forward, it looks fast. Silver arrows, that sounds quick. We're powered by Duracell. Like I get this little pink bunny, and he seems like he's pretty nippy, but like when I see that big brown battery on top, I just think, yeah, that's why you're at the back of the queue, mate. But yeah, I got on plumb last. But to be fair, I don't think there is an abhorrent, like, offensive livery. I'm not like pissed off by any of them. I think in the last couple of years, there's probably been some that I just thought were downright ugly. Probably some Williams cars in there. But I just think the Williams car is screaming out for some white on it. You know, just to make it like pop in certain areas. I feel like you add white as an accent color to so many of these cars. They just like bounce off the screen so much more. And yeah, I just find it boring. It's like a 5 out of 10 though. And that's the worst one on here, like a 5 out of 10. So I don't think there's any bad ones. And that's because most of them are playing it safe. And I would rather they'd be like a 3 out of 10, but it's trying something, you know? I would appreciate that more. You know, you're not gonna, if it's, you know, that might not go a long way for you. A bit of appreciation, but still being ugly as fuck. But you know, for me, just above that, I've gone for Kick. Also a 5 out of 10, simply just because it's a different livery from last year. But ultimately, it's a fucking, you know, it's a gradient. All of Kick's so far, there's only been 2 to be fair. But they're liveries, and I can't remember last year's one. So again, this is off of almost basing this off of nothing. But it feels like they're liveries, like they haven't, they're not willing to spend the V-Bucks, whatever, to unlock the actual designs. Like, you know, when you play the game, they give you, if you're not wanting to spend, they give you like 4 different templates you can use. It feels like Kick just kind of, you know, swipe through there. Like, really? Our colours are green and black, and we just got a green to black, like, gradient. Yeah, they're not willing to, you know, they're not pay to win. Sure, maybe that's commendable. But like the fucking design, if you get what I'm trying to say, I guess you, you know, I feel like that maybe wasn't explained the best, but you know, it's just like, it's just boring, man. Gradient. Can you get any more basic than that as a design thing? That's what I mean. Like I feel like we really got being fed scraps because there is so little design actually ever going on with these. And like, here's the thing: Chelsea are a team who often don't have kits that go down well in the wider consensus. I mean, this year we got this sort of oil spill looking kind of kit as our home kit. We've had kits that look like pajamas. I remember when there was like a bunch of little badges all over it. We had that kit. I don't remember who he was under. Maybe Lampard actually, which was just it looked like the bridge, like Stamford Bridge architecture, all like spliced up. We had that weird checkerboard kit recently. Like I can remember Lukaku in that one with the yellow on it, and it's like that really weird, like abstract design. And then that season we won the Champions League, we just had that plain blue kit, and like. Some of these kits people fucking hate and people wish we went back to the Adidas era. I fucking don't. Like, people are happy, sure, like with Arsenal kits every year. It's red, it's the white sleeves, it's the three stripes. I like the kits to be different year on year. And I like the fact that some years I might fucking hate the kit. But I like that there is like at least, there is a guy who's been paid to go in there and put his mark on and try and make something happen. And so much of it is just like, this one's, yeah, green to black, and then just move on. It's like, I just wish the design meant more to some people, you know? So we're gonna move up from there. It's a free to download template they've got on. It's just pretty crap. Another 5 out of 10, livery, Aston Martin. They have so much potential to be better, but they're just clinging on to a little James Bond gimmick. And they got a James Bond gimmick, by the way, in a Mission Impossible world. Both good franchises. I've never seen a Mission Impossible film, but from what I've heard, both good franchises, right? But like James Bond, they're all just like, we're sleek, we're smart, on the streets, ooh, you're self-driving, lean back, martini. And it's like, this is a Mission Impossible sport. This is fucking reckless, this is fucking champagne showers, this is betrayal, this is... And they're trying to run this sleek, where this sleek, license to kill, license to bore, mate. Because honestly, like, when you get spun out in turn one, you're not looking so sleek then. I just want a cool livery. I don't like that shade of green at all, that glossy, dark shade of green. It's not like a forest green. Maybe it is a forest green, but just as glossy, I don't like it. They got that, like, lighter, mucus looking green that runs through it. They occasionally kind of ran with, like, that green and pink before, which I like as a color combo, not with the shades they use. Everyone was kind of like, failed experiment, didn't work. The watermelon didn't work. Nah, the watermelon would have worked, but like the colors they used, like that shade of pink with that shade of green never really fucked with it. I think they should have went for a lighter shade of pink, kind of more of an alpine pink. And if that was the accent on the car, and they had that kind of like as the stripe, maybe a little bit on the front wing, you know, in the end one, I'd be all for it. But again, it's the same one we've had before. I mean, they walk out like they're all meant to be suave. This is one part of F1 Live I did see, you know, and it's like dang, 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 dang. They take the helmets off, everyone's like, woo! And then the first thing Lance Stroll says is like, wow, I'm so happy to see her. Wow, look at her, she's a beauty. Damn, I can't wait to see her go. Damn, she's a sweetie. And it's just like, God, the like, this Aston Martin with like with like Lance Stroll at the helm and like the sport, it just doesn't mesh. It's just not. I don't know. I mean, that's their gimmick, I guess, and they're hitting it home. Like, I'll be honest, I heard someone make this take before, and I kind of agreed. Like, I don't necessarily love like I was talking about NFL designs, and it's like, oh. Or like, not NFL, just American sports designs will be like, oh, we're the Vikings, so let's put horns on it. Or, oh, we're the Eagles, so let's use wings. So like, I was about to say like, you're Aston Martin, why not like have wings, like maybe like faded out, going down the sides of it or whatever. Or like maybe even just like on like the end plates on like the back or something, maybe put little wings. Maybe that's too on the nose, but like, I would at least look at it and go, oh, there was an idea here and they're trying to make something. But like, I feel like so often at the time, with the liveries, it's like, it just feels like, let's find a design that people generally like and just stick with it. And it's pretty simple. It's never like, let's try to make something that looks cool, that incorporates our name or what we're about, and also looks quick and like, you know, has something about it. You know, I've seen more interest in fucking Fiat 500s. But anyway, going up to Haas, Also a 5 out of 10. It's a pretty good design. I think it's better than last year simply because they reversed some colors and they made white a more prominent color. And again, it pops a little bit better. But Haas is only ever going to be so high for me simply because I don't really like red and black together, which I know, again, is kind of a hot take in itself. That's meant to be like the coolest combination of colors. But red and black to me, it's just a bit Sith Lord in it. It's just not really doing it for me. Not quite my tempo, you know. I watched Whiplash recently. That's on the mind. But yeah, not much to say about Haas as usual. Going up from there, number 6, I've got Alpine. And like, I don't even know if this is technically a good design. There's some like clumsy stuff about it, but it's pink and blue. I like that. It's bright in your face. I mean, I don't like the BW. Like, here's one I think is clumsy. The BWT on the side, just like with like what a black or a navy blue outline, like that just looks ugly. Like that doesn't look cool on that part there. But when I stand back from the car, you know, I just think that's kind of a color combination that I'm just gonna like. I don't like the shade of blue that Alpine uses. And when I say that, I think sometimes I think I don't like the shade of blue, but I just don't like. I mean, I don't like the shade of colors, but I think what it really is I don't like that shade when it looks glossy. And when it's glossy on the car and shiny, I'm just like, that's ugly. But apart from that, it's at least more fun to me. It's got a nice front angle, which essentially is just a pink car, which I think leads me into thinking Alpine, you know, there needs to be leaning back into the pink Mercedes days, getting more pink on that car. Because I think they're stronger when they lean into the pink. Red Bull 7th. Is that 7th or is that... Oh, wait. Is that 7th? No, not 7th. Alpine 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, they are 6, but what I meant is they're a 6 out of 10. Red Bull aren't 7th. 7 out of 10. Obviously, it's a good livery. That's why I stick with it every year. They just have a way that the sponsor works really well. But here's the thing, right? I get like it's a good design, so why change it? No one's saying change it by like moving where those sponsorships are. We get it. The Red Bull looks great wrapped around the top and it's great on the front wing. But there's still the rest of the car we could do stuff with here. Like I don't see what I'm not saying make it white like that livery everyone likes from back in there where they used it for one day or whatever, which they basically did with another car we'll get to in a minute. But I mean just like add something. Want something. You know? It's as high as like a design's gonna go for me. I don't care if it was the nicest looking car in the world. If it's like the 10th time in a row you're using it, you're not gonna get much higher than 5th. You know, going up from here, I've got McLaren. I expect more from McLaren, but they're trying to become iconic. They're trying to lean into their bag, and to be fair, they're getting a little bit more successful now, so I can see why they'd want to. A lot of people like the car more and more as they get rid of the blue. And to be fair, that shade of blue, again, I don't like. I like when they have that lighter shade of blue. Then I actually quite like it when there's the tricolour going on. A lot of people like it now, just simplify it to the orange and black. Fair. I mean, the orange and black is fine. I think that there's a few cars that have really good sponsors that time with their car. I really like, obviously Red Bull is a good sponsor. It's like the whole identity of the team. I really like chrome with McLaren. I think it works really well. I really like the chrome in the wheels. I like it on the side. It just begs for them to be using chrome more, but I guess chrome apparently weighs more. Because that's what that's what Twitter will tell you, and that's what people care about. Is the boring shit. I don't give a fuck, mate. Put the chrome on the car, and it kind of looks like when you saw it on the F1 Live thing that had chrome like on the top, so from like a bird's eye view, that was all chrome. But I think this is what pissed me off as well. You couldn't find decent images of the cars. Maybe you can now. Like I'll have a look now. But it's like the teams were releasing like far away as fuck photos from the cars from the F1 Live event. I'm like, just show me some renders. I know it's not the real thing, but I just want to see what angles of the car. So I got to see this front 3/4 angle and like a back 3/4. I want to see it fully from the side, fully from the top, fully from the back, fully from the front. Like, give me the whole shebang. I don't know what they weren't dropping that for. I might have a check now on Twitter real quick to see if I can see any of these cars clearer, and maybe I'll change my mind on them. But to be honest, I saw that front angle, and this is what I think I just different from what F1 fans. People just, you'd be surprised, people just really like plain stuff. People like a plain car. Honestly, if you made most of these cars just plain colors with with like a couple racing lines, People would call them more beautiful. And that is as easy as it is. That's the demand of what people want. For me, I want a bit more design elements to it. Sorry, I've just been distracted by Anthony Mackie dancing on going on the Jennifer Hudson show. Whoa, he's really whoa, okay. Oh, the shoulder. Oh, wow. Okay, now he's really now he's like catching. Is he catching a fish or he's been caught by a fisherman? Okay. Interesting. Okay. Oh wow. Oh, now he's got the legs flailed. Okay, maybe check that out if you get some time later when you're surfing the interweb. Maybe give that a watch. I don't ask to see any of those Jennifer Hudson fucking things, by the way. But Jesus Christ, every other day I gotta see someone dancing down the catwalk. Next, sorry, I'm getting really distracted now. I'm just saying that is a beautiful shirt. Ferrari. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm getting very distracted. What am I on here for again? Don't trust me with the internet and my fingers. The cars. Yeah, I want to see. I just thought the front nose was barren, mate. And here's another thing, right? People think, oh, beautiful football kit. We had one this season, last season with Chelsea, no sponsor. As a special kit, like a 50th anniversary thing, sure. Sponsors are what makes it. Not loads, but one good sponsor. When you think back to iconic football kits, you go, oh, that Liverpool kit with the candy. Or the Carlsberg. You think, oh, was it Fiorentina with the Nintendo? You think like they go hand in hand, different eras. Which is Arsenal 02. You know what I mean? And at the time, people maybe went, oh, that one's a bit, I don't really like the 02. I preferred the one before that. But then you either win some stuff in it, or you have it for a period of time, that sponsor, and it becomes iconic with a car and it just looks cool, or it's just something like vintage about it almost instantly. People just like those sponsors. Like, I like a sponsor on a kit. It's when you get a bad sponsor, an ugly as fuck one, and we've been there. Yokohama Tires wasn't exactly the nicest thing in the world. You get some bad ones. And I just think, I don't want to look at a car and feel like there's not a lot of sponsors on it. I want there to be loads of little patches on the car. Good ones, sure. But like, you know, I just look at that front nose and it's just a bunch of like little thin written text. Like I can't even read what any of those sponsors, what we got here. WebEx, FX Pro, Pirelli, Hilton. It's just, they're all just boring and crap. It's just like big orange nose. I hate the front wing. Just MasterCard, I think, on the front. I don't like a wing that's just mainly black. No colour on the front wing. That pisses me off. And like, why in these photos at F1 Live does it look like the whole top is all chrome looking? They did that on purpose to get people excited because it's not. It's just black, I think. But yeah, I don't know. That front nose is way too boring for me. I would have liked it to maybe like go into a point with maybe some black creeping in. Maybe that would make me like the all black nose a bit more. But it's nice from a side angle, from a 3/4 even. But I just think the front angle's boring as fuck, mate. And I didn't hate the blue days when they had blues on, when they had a bit more blue on it. There, I said it. Some people thought it was clustered. I fucking said it, lad. And also, should I get into this now? Actually, I'm just going to get into it now. I've wrote notes next to some of these where I think it's noteworthy about their overalls, because that's another thing I for some reason care about. McLaren's fucking overalls are ugly as fuck, mate. That fucking diagonals thing they got going for them, mate, that ain't flattering. That is ugly as shit. I don't know why they've kept that for a second year. It looks shite. It's crap. It's weird. I don't like it, but here we are. Probably the ugliest overalls for me on the grid. I just don't like the design of it. Anyway, back to, I think I had Mercedes next, which, again, I can't even really tell what the car looks like that well, because they haven't shown us a 360 or whatever. So it's just guesswork. Yeah, I'm like on their Twitter right now. The only photo is one still image from the event where there's like blue flares coming up in the foreground. I can't tell if that's like a mainly silver car, a mainly black car, a bit of both. It's mainly the similar design with the stars in the back and the streak going forward. The main reason I put it up is Mercedes usually have decent cars and they got rid of the red. Now, I like a little accent colour on there sometimes, just out of nowhere. In this example, Ineos isn't that. Ineos is a shit sponsor, and the red little dog dick on the top of the car was never nice. I think they could have a colour up there.
Not red though. I mean, blue would be again. That's what most people would say. Just put a little blue ring around it. It's fucking boring. No, there is an accent color you could go for here, but maybe like a gold or something. But yeah, I'm just putting it here because I'm assuming it's nice. But I've not seen anything other than this single angle. It's a joke. Why? What are you hiding for? Um, so I think they're third for me, meaning we've got two cars left: Ferrari and Racing Bulls. And I think for a lot of people, they're already pissed off that I have Ferrari this high. I'm not going to put you into cardiac arrest or into an early grave. They're not my number one, but my word is that a nice Ferrari. It's a nice Ferrari. I'm sorry. This is what triggered me to want to talk about this so badly. The fact that so many people think it's ugly because of HP on it, because they can't fathom a world with blue on the car, even though when you look back at some classic Ferraris, they have a bit of blue on the side. I don't know what the brand was. It I was about to say Fiat. It's not fucking Fiat. Is it? What was it? I'm gonna have to Google it now. Why did I just not mention what the brand was? Now I actually have to correct myself. Ferrari F1 Ferrari vintage. I don't know what to Google exactly. Could it what was on the side? But it had a bit of blue on the side. Oh, for fuck! Stop clicking the wrong shit when you're. Look, I'm crumbling under pressure here. I can't find it now. Oh, it's there. What does it say? Yeah, Fiat. Crazy. Because I just assume I just now, you know, put Fiat with like sort of Essex mums or whatever. Fiat 500. I can't imagine it being on something going that fast in a race setting. Not that Essex mothers couldn't be race car drivers. Okay, you're digging a hole. It's also got some blue down here, Pioneer. I don't know. This to me, I just feel like right. I'm gonna big myself up right now and dislike the video, honestly, for what I'm about to say. But I feel like I got the eye for this kind of thing. Dislike it. I'm being outrageous right now, and I've got no right to say any of this. And this is based off nothing. I've got no prior to back up this kind of thing. But I just feel like I just feel like I would stand in a room. I'm the kind of person who would stand in the room, design a car. 9 out of 10 people in the room would say it's ugly, and I'd be like, no, you're all wrong, because I'm looking at this right now, and I just know like this is the shit. And like the thing about the Ferrari, it's the shade of red they've gone for, Chef's Kiss, and like yeah, I've seen alternate designs where they black out the HP and they just make it a black HP logo, or they get rid of the HP altogether and they make it like the galloping horse logo of like Ferrari. And yeah, they look nice and they're like more like what you'd expect for like in an ideal world. But there is something about that blue, and it's the thing, like I said before, with the sponsors on football kits. When you think about iconic kits, they go hand in hand with the sponsor. There's something about the HP, and I think it's what it is. It's because HP make, because this is the joke. This is the fucking joke that all the fucking stand-up comedians are making. Like we haven't heard it 100 times before. They make printers, guys. I know, and that's not exactly a luxury brand. That's not exactly. It doesn't even have to be luxury. It's just not exactly. You know, if you've got HP on the side, it's not the coolest thing in the world. And I think they're tying that too much in. And on top of that, they just don't like the blue. I think both of those things. But when I see the blue, something about that shade of blue and how it's popping, it's making the stuff instantly look vintage to me. And when I say vintage, I'm not being like a vintage whore, just like anything bit vintage and retro, I'm into that. I mean, it's making it instantly look like something that in 20 years from now, people will look back on and say, that era of car. Oh, that's a special one. There's just something about the look to it. I like the white. Now, it would be even better for me if they had some white running down the sides of the nose, either side. When you look at it from the side profile, it's literally just a big block of white there. Like, it's got some white on the wings, front and back, which I think looks nice from like when it's driving around in different angles. But I think just the side, you only get the white there. Maybe it would have looked nice if the line was going the other way as well, but I don't really care. But if there was a bit of white just to carry it through a little bit more, I don't give a fuck about the blue. I think the blue actually excels it. It like makes it. It adds a certain je ne sais quoi to the car. It adds a certain stamp to it, quite literally, but also in time, in the zeitgeist, on the like it does something for me. And in other ways where there's big bright colours where it doesn't work. you know, Ineos with the red on the Mercedes. I don't think that ever really worked and never really tied in. But there's something about that shade of blue, like, man, it just works. And it's the nicest car from at least the last 5 years from when I've looked at. Like, I'm not saying any color. Mission Winnow, when they had that green straight on the red. Yeah, of course, that's fucking horrendous. I'm a human. Yeah, sure, I'm not insane. Bring up the Ferrari right now. I need to see a picture of it again. Oh my god, I'm looking at it right now. It's a beautiful red. That white is just working. I like the blue. The blue just works for me. I don't know why, but it makes it look. And I'm not even that familiar with vintage cars and watching races, so I don't like naturally put blue, like a blue and a Ferrari together, like a blue sponsor being on a Ferrari is a classic. I know that they had that smoking company, Marlboro, is that how you pronounce it? Like that's like an iconic sponsor for them. But like there is something. I mean, that front angle. How does that not just look like? Oh my god, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Like something about the blue just makes the red pop even more. Like the blue is popping obviously because it's around this deep red and white. But I don't think you realize how much the red body of the car. It's like they're doing work for each other. It takes two to tango. Like that blue is doing a lot of work as well for that red to bounce off because they contrast like that. I think people are not giving it the credit. Like, they're not understanding the legwork. Because here's the thing. It generally, yeah, does look nicer. Sure. Okay. I'm being an arsehole. When it's like HP and it's black. Sure. I get why most people would like that more. And even in many different versions of me in different realities would maybe like that more. But the blue subconsciously to my brain is doing something where it makes the car, I'm sorry, KO first round. And I don't really get the hate for it. Now, if the side angle was a bit better, sure. But there's no tie-in. On the side, the only white you really get is on the side there. They couldn't have just had a bit of white. Just a tiny sliver going down the side of that nose. Or at least on the front wing, on the end plate. I think that's all I need, actually. A bit of white on the front end plate. Is that too much to ask for? And you could have slapped a blue one on the front as well. There you go. I'm fucking chucking out fucking, you know. And on by the way, the uniforms, it looks so good. It works. That blue on the red works. Those colours work. I don't know how it's working. I don't know if it's just the shades of red and blue. But it's, and I know you're probably thinking, why does HP are probably thinking, yeah, great, we're really popping on this thing. Why does this fucking printer company need to be popping? The thing that should be popping is the Ferrari badge or the whatever. I don't give a fuck, mate. I'm not here to talk about it from a business standpoint. I'm just saying aesthetically it looks nice. You know what I mean? Obviously, number one is the racing balls. Look, it's not a 10 out of 10 for me. It's not. I think the overalls are better than the livery. And you know what I like about them? Is they've taken a bit of a rogue sponsor and they made it work for them. And especially on the overalls. No, their colours are like white and blue. That's their main ones. And obviously they've also got the Red Bull logo colours to use as well. But it's the white and blue. And like Ferrari, they've been chucked a bit of a rogue colour in there. Ferraris is the blue, and they've been chucked a green as their rogue colour. And in the ovals, what I like is they then play into it. They go, okay, we've got this random green cash up on the stomach. Let's work it in. And they put this green trim around it that just makes it all kind of have this sort of neon sort of sign glow to the whole thing and makes it just pop in a cool way. And I like that. You make it work. And I get it. It's a Ferrari. You can't have any blue on a Ferrari. So you can't just put some blue streaks on it somewhere. But it would tie it in. It would make it look cooler. And by the way, immediately, if you put some blue streaks on this, people would just start. Because I'm sorry, the jokes are so lame. People would immediately just be taking photos of Colgate toothpaste and just posting it, being like, the new Ferrari 2025 be like, and it'll be a photo of their fucking Colgate or whatever. But it would look cool. I'm sorry. Colgate is actually, people should be looking towards Colgate because Colgate would look nice. Colgate would be a great sponsor, by the way. But yeah, and that's what I like. That's what I appreciate about the Visa Cash App is that they've used the green and they've implemented it as a colour and just a fine one. They weren't brave enough to do it on the actual livery, really, but just like they used it on the overalls, and I think it works way better than just having it just on the stomach. Because green as like a a rogue colour, an accent colour to have to tie is a bit of a tricky one, but I think they've worked in it splendidly, and the livery I don't know what's stopping me from giving it a 10. Like, it's not a 10 to me. It's very nice. It's missing a something. And maybe if it had some green accents just on, like, even the, what are they called? The hood caps? The things that go over the wheels? I think that what they have now is blue. Maybe if those were green, I'd give it a 10. Maybe that's like the extra spice I need. But it's very ratatouille when he eats the cheese and the strawberry and the flavors. You wouldn't think they necessarily work together. You just gotta lean in there sometimes and just give it a go. Did anyone actually sit at the table and go, "What if we chuck some blue streaks on that Ferrari? What are we saying?" No, because you know who, you want to know why? Because bloody Bonotto or whoever, you know, fucking the Ferrari will fucking fist on the table. Boom! Don't you dare! Okay, well, we're missing out on excellence because of it. You know, we're missing out on excellence because of it. And I'm shouting into a void. I'm screaming at a brick wall because no one wants to hear it. I'll be chastised for this. I'll be, what's it called when they chop you? Is that, no. What's it called when they, I'll be castrated for this, honestly. I'll be deplatformed for this. Like, Elon believed in free speech, but like, this is a little bit too far to put out there. That's why I've not said anything about this on Twitter or anything. Because I'm not trying to get my house raided or anything like that. But, mate, it's beautiful. It's not shiny. Fuck a shiny Ferrari. It's matte. Same with white. The Racing Bulls is a white car. I told you white does wonders. It's done wonders on this Ferrari as well for making things pop. It just white is a platform to give the colours pop. That isn't a thing for life. I know I made the race joke. I'm not, but you know, like, it just works great. It's the main colour for the Racing Bulls. You can't gloss up a white. You can, but don't do it. Right? It's gonna look like a middle-aged woman's kitchen. Don't gloss up the white. Right? Keep it matte. Right? It's working wonders. The Red Bull's lovely. The Ferrari's great. Honestly, McLaren, add some white in there. You'd pop a bit nicer. Fucking smile more. I don't know what I said that. Anyway, this hasn't been my best work, honestly. Not my best work. But you know, I ain't starting again now. I ain't starting again. Because an insight, I did start this for a second time. I got about 6 minutes in and I just went, the energy's all wrong. Am I coming from this from a bitter place? Yeah. But is that becoming too obvious? And it was. And I feel like I've slowly managed to find myself in that same position on this one. I've been a bit all over the place. I feel like I've been a bit erratic. Don't know if I've voiced my opinions in the best way, but I'm not going to start again. Normally, this will just be one of many podcasts eventually, and we'll hopefully forget about it. And next week will come sooner than ever, and we can hopefully bury this episode under what is hopefully a better episode next week. But I think Drive to Survive comes out on the 1st or the 3rd of March or something. That ain't too far away, you know. And then the season's like the 14th, so then we're back into the swing of things. So yeah, those are all the liveries. By the way, Ferrari, lovely overalls. Racing Bulls, lovely overalls. McLaren, your overalls are ugly as fuck, mate. Alpines are pretty nice, and Williams pretty nice. Again, white does the job. But yeah, there better be something to talk about next week. I am screwed.